3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, what it do? It's me, Mr. Hostman4457. Check me out on Instagram. We're doing the Streams Badly Crossover Boxing Awards 2023. Current year right now.
Well, hey, round of applause. Insert that
December
in editing.
14th.
But not really. Everyone
right
clap.
Now.
Everyone watching, clap right now. Whee, woo! It's time. It's time for it.
It's time.
Are you ready? Are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Here we
you can't
go.
even see the tie I'm wearing. Look how dressed up I am for this occasion. Holy shit.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, Judd, do your hosting job. Fucking hell. Can you tell we do this live? Jesus Christ.
Right. I didn't even know we were doing this together. Right. The categories for today are number 1, who's the best newcomer? Who comes the newest? Number 2, the best promotion. Number 3, the best overall event. Number 4, the knockout of the year. The fucking best, not the fucking best one. Number 5, the best fight of the year. Number 6, the best fighter of the year. Number 7, women's pound for pound rankings. And number 8 is men's pound for pound rankings. See, I did it with both. So you can't get mad at me because I did it for both.
Yeah, we've got some new categories this year. We didn't have some of those last year, but I thought they were well worth adding this year. And it's time to get into them. Judd's playing the role of host and I'm the commission. So I basically did all this and Judd's just reading out a PowerPoint that he's never seen before.
It's literally exactly like the regular boxing commission. It's literally
pretty much.
The same.
It's as professional as that.
There's just as much corruption. So
anyway.
Number 1, best newcomer. Right? Tell us who came the newest. Oh, wait, no, these are the nominees. Idris Virgo.
yeah, the nominees, yeah.
Yeah. Not to be confused with his brother Idris Capricorn. Number 2, the second nominee is Tommy Fury.
You better have a joke like that for every one of them.
Not to be confused with his cousin Tommy Calmly. Go on, next. How am I saying this? Nick Lamau. Yeah, no, I do know that. Okay, yeah. Nick Lamau. I'm not doing that same joke for everyone. His cousin Nick LMFAO.
Nick slightly sad.
Nick Ruffle. And Michelle Kerr?
Michelle Kerr,
How am I saying that?
That's right.
Michelle Kerr, okay. Was Tommy Fury a newcomer? Did he only start this year?
Newcomer to crossover boxing this year. Yeah, he fought Jake Paul this year, 2023. So
okay. So
anyway.
he's not but he's not like a newcomer to boxing, right?
No, he's probably got more experience than all of the other newcomers combined when it comes to boxing.
Exactly.
However, do you want to see the winner? Any predictions?
Sure. I'm gonna say you give it to Michelle. I think.
The winner is Nick Lamau.
Nick Lamau. Well, look, guys, Jake's sexist.
Nick Lamau's fought a lot this year. He's even been one of the most active in the tag team boxing to further more interesting elements of this scene. He showed a lot of skill for a newcomer, and a lot of people said he should have beaten Jay Swingler to take over as a Misfits champion. It's a bit 50-50 with that. All we know is he's done a great job. And if he continues getting better and improves as much as he seemed to from nothing to how he is today, then he could be a real force in this scene. We could see him take on the likes of people such as King Kenny. We could see Nick Lamau versus Deji, and it'd be a very competitive fight in the future, perhaps. He's fought a lot. He's been in some of the best fights, and he's pretty good as well. And he looks like a One Piece character.
Like a One Piece character, yeah.
He does. That is very true, actually. I can see it.
Number 2, best promotion. Premonition.
This is companies that put on events. Here's the nominees.
The first nominee is Misfits. The second nominee is Kingpin. They're not going to be winning. So the third nominee is MVP. And your fourth nominee is Create or Clash. Create or clash? Which would you rather do?
I
Create.
don't care. The winner is
It's okay. Misfits!
Yeah! Who saw that coming? Everyone,
that, yeah.
probably.
I don't know shit about boxing, and I knew Misfits was going to win that one.
Just so you know, Misfits put on the most events. Kingpin has gone bankrupt. MVP is basically just Jake Paul on their roster for Creator Crossovers. Yeah. And Creator Clash also gone bankrupt. So,
has it? Okay, I didn't know
fact,
that.
the second Creator Clash event that was supposed to raise money for charity lost money. So,
oh my!
Yeah.
Did that mean they had to go to the who was it for? Was it for children or something? Did they just have to show it to the children and just take toys and shit off them, repossess stuff of the kids?
I think it was kind of they paid off what they owed and then just donated their own money to charity. Is kind of what ended up happening. But it's been a shit show for promotions this year, as always. The only one that seems to be able to sustain itself is Misfits, and I look forward to seeing if they can become even bigger and better in the future.
Number 3, the best event. Who are the nominees? Your nominees are Misfits Boxing X Series number 4, 004. Creator Clash 2, that's not winning. The Prime card. The Prime card. Or Misfits Boxing X Series 11. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen. The Prime card. I probably could have called that one as well.
Well done, Prime card. Very controversial pick, actually, because I think a lot of people were saying that a lot of the fights on this card were shit. I mean, this is the one where KSI fought Tommy Fury, and it made us very mad. And a lot of people hated how that fight was and said it was very boring. Fuck them, is what the commission's official stance is, because the fact that this card was even put on in the first place and we got to see so many fights that people were so interested in, people forget how many good fights were on there. Let's just say Dean the Great versus Wally Sharks 2, Salt Pappy versus Slim. Just that alone makes this card way better.
I think I've got this wrong, but was this the Boogie one?
No.
Okay, no, I've got that wrong then. That's me.
That's
why I'm not in the commission.
That one might have been X Series 4. I can't remember now.
Oh, was it? Okay, all right.
Creator Clash 2 obviously lost money. X Series 4 was a good one. That was good. KSI knocked out Temper on that one, so that was good. X Series 11 is the most recent one, and there was some good clashes on there, but it just didn't quite have the pizzazz that the Prime card has. At this point, I'm going to just mention that the last potential fight for or event that could go in these awards has not actually happened yet, and it will be considered for next year. Jake Paul is fighting Andre August. As of recording this, actually, it's the day we're recording this, but I don't have time to assess that one, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be shit. So anyway, next.
There it is. There's your winner, and here is the 4th award, Knockout of the Year. Who just fucking laid somebody out the best?
There was some good ones this year.
Laid them out. Dapper laughs, knocks out Simple Simon. Fucking lays him out.
Simple Simon, bless him. Acts hard, but he's just he's just someone's fucking dad.
He's just simple. That referee looks so uninterested about that. Salt Pappy knocks out Josh Bruckner?
Bruckner, sure.
Josh Buccaneer.
Do you remember this one? This one was a big one.
I remember Salt Pappy. Yeah,
this was where Josh Bruckner
looks
like he looks like Chris Hemsworth or something. He's stacked, he's muscly and everything. And chubby Salt Pappy floored the bitch, he knocked him out.
He really is got timber in there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Number 3, your third nomination is KSI knocks out Fassi Tempia. That's how you say that.
Yep.
Oh, your last nomination is Myth knocks out Hundar.
Any favourites for you there, Judd, that you might be most interested in?
I honestly, I kind of like the Salt Pappy one just because of like Josh is going down in such a like theatrical way into he really said timber before he fell over. Look at him go.
Well, let's see. The winner is
KSI knocks out Fassi Tempia.
Yeah,
well,
it was a very close one. Salt Pappy came really close to being the winner on that. It's just that the highlight reel nature and how out the opponent was in this knockout was kind of scary. Seeing the guy's blank eyes as he's like wobbling around all over on the like flopping on the floor. This was a severe knockout, and it was the first time we got to see how devastating KSI's karate stance style that he now uses can be. It just meant a lot more for the future of stuff. Obviously, being the biggest name.
It really just looks like. I mean, it's obviously not, but it looks like a terrible stance, doesn't it? Look at him there. He like looks fucking not need.
We're gonna move on before KSI's Reddit starts kicking up a fuss again.
But here's the thing: it's like I'm obviously wrong because like he's been doing him favors and he like pulls it off. But I'm just saying you look at it and it looks like he's just gonna like break under his own weight, like his knees are just gonna bust. But he did it. So
anyway.
Fight of the year! Oh my god! I tell you what, it's not going to be one of the nominations, but I saw a homeless guy fighting an elderly man the other week, and God, that should be on here, but it's not. But anyway,
probably. I just want to, sorry, just on the knockouts, I do want to give a couple honourable mentions. KSI versus Joe Fournier. KSI fucking knocked him flat out, and he was supposed to be a much more credited opponent. The reason why it's only a mention is because that was overturned to a no contest.
I didn't even see that down there, so yeah.
Due to the elbow controversy. The other thing is Virus versus DK Money. The knockout there would have probably been nominated as well, especially being as it was a back and forth fight. However, Virus popped for performance enhancing drugs and is therefore not eligible for this at all.
Is that actually a typo? Should that say DK Monkey?
No, DK Money.
Oh, well.
Okay, Fight of the Year.
Fight of the Year.
Once again, mention to Virus versus DK Money. That quite possibly could have won Fight of the Year, but Virus disqualified himself by taking steroids. So,
are you sure that's not a typo and that's supposed to say DK Monkey? Your first nominee is Salt Pappy versus Slim. Even I remember that one. So yeah,
I don't. I was drunk. I had to watch it again.
Okay. Number 2, Los Pineda Colada. Sorry, that's terrible. I can't say it like that. Los Pineda versus Wasabi.
Oh my god. I'm just going to move on.
Number 3 is Los Pineda. Sorry. Versus D Generation Ice. Ice, baby. The last nominee is Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury.
Yeah, we've got some great fights on here. Surprisingly, 2 tag team fights. The middle 2 that you can see there are both tag team fights. They were just very exciting and very interesting for different reasons. We got to see a knockout in Los Pineda Coladas versus D-Generation Ice. B-Dave putting on more of a performance than we thought, but Pineda showing up as always. And Los Pineda Coladas versus Wasabi Lamau as well. Wasabi Lamau, they are skilled guys. We've talked about Nick Lamau already. Seen what Alex Wasabi did to Deji. And B-Dave showed up. B-Dave knocked down some of these guys, but also I'm pretty sure like everyone got knocked down in that fight. It was very exciting. These tag team fights end up being really enjoyable to watch as fights. The other 2, Salt Pappy versus Slim was a very interesting fight because of who these guys both are in this scene, but also the back and forth of it. The fact that Salt Pappy was kind of waiting for a good amount of the fight, but then Slim really rallied and took the fight from him. That's the reason why that's there, as well as Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Maybe not as much kind of skillful interest in it, but just the fact that we saw Jake Paul take on the biggest challenge anyone had taken at that point. Tommy Fury got knocked down. It's the introduction of Tommy Fury to this scene. There's a lot of reasons that could be nominated for Fight of the Year, but here is our winner.
Wait, hold on. I just want to say, okay, well, it's Salt Papi versus Slim is the winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the previous slide for me? Can I? Okay. I just want to say, if I was going off just faces, I have to say, Los Pineda Coladas versus Wasabi Lamau, they are pulling the best faces in their picture. Good. It's just like, Los Pineda's just like going, yay! And then Wasabi's going, no!
Well, Salt Papi versus Slim is the winner for, like I said, it's got pretty much everything you would need. The star power from both guys and the story from both guys, the ability, the skill, both guys have got ability there. You know, there's questions around Salt Papi's lost loads of weight. Is that going to be good for him? He looks in great shape. You know, we also had the fact that it was back and forth. You know, you got a lot in Salt Papi's direction, then Slim kind of pulled a bit back, then a lot more Salt Papi. I think he's going to win. Then Slim managed to knock him out. It's just, this is one of the best you will ever get from a crossover boxing fight. And thank God both guys put it on. Now it's really obvious that we need to see one of these guys fight Anisong Gibb. Please, preferably Slim. But I would love to see Salt Papi fight Anisong Gibb as well.
Fighter of the Year. Fighter.
This is the big one, folks. This is the one that everyone cares about. This is the one that all the crossover boxing fighters are tuning in for. They want to be Fighter of the Year, as announced by us.
This is for the cross-dresser fighter. What is this again?
Oh God.
Yeah. KSI. Now, if you didn't know, that stands for Knowledge, Strength, and Integrity. Just in case you didn't know that.
Wow.
Dean the Great. That's not how you spell Dean, but
it is in this scenario.
D minus forever. Slim. Shady. Not that one, just Slim. Or Gibb.
Any ideas who you would pick for this? Have you got a favourite?
I could not say. I feel bad that Gibbs not got the belt there.
Well, he could have fucking fought for it, couldn't he? We'll get to that. Yeah. Here's your winner.
Go on.
It's the big man, the top dog.
KSI.
Well, potentially the biggest draw in this entire scene.
What is it? What's the whole thing? KSI LGBT.
Some people could say, well, he lost to Tommy Fury. How can he be the winner? In my book, he didn't. Our commission voted KSI as the winner. Fuck the PBA's commission and what their judges say. Our judges say that KSI won that fight on our commission, which is me. Well, also judge as well, I suppose.
Like I say, our commission's just as corrupt as their commission, so what the fuck
probably
do we care,
less so, actually, if anything, I would say, at least.
I don't know. I've still got enough money going under the table, like, to...
Who's paying your opinion off? What's going on there?
Our thousands of watchers, obviously.
Yeah, okay. But shout out to someone like Dean the Great, for example, who really proved the only question that he had in this scene. Did Waleed Sharks actually deserve the win last time? The rematch happened. Dean definitely more decisively won this time. Shout out to Slim. They were saying he was ducking Salt Papi and that he, is a bit of a scared champ. He fought and he won. Big shouts out to those guys. The fact of the matter, though, is that in our book, KSI passed the ultimate test. And you can't, especially after he flawed temper. He basically, I know there's asterisks above it again, but he knocked the fuck out of Fournier as well. I know there was the elbow, but come on, he definitely did it with an elbow or not. And then, in our books, also beat Tommy Fury, something that Jake Paul couldn't do. Dean the Great might have beaten his biggest adversary at the minute, but that's not the same feat as beating Tommy Fury. Slim, again, beat Salt Papi, one of his people that people have been saying he should have fought. It's not the same thing as beating Tommy Fury. Gib doesn't hold a fucking belt. It's hard to say that he's a fighter of the year, even though he's had some good wins this year. The winner is going to be KFC for making delicious chips. They put seasoning on their chips now, and it's really nice. Really good. So let's just shout out to KFC as well. Yeah,
KFC. Well done, KFC. Which that stands for Kentucky Fried Chicken, just in case you didn't know that.
Force and sauce is what that stands for.
It's a C. It's a C. You're not spelling sauce C-A-U-C-E. Cows.
Just move on.
Stupid. Women's pound for pound rankings.
Oh, so
this isn't women's dollar for dollar because we're not American. This is UK, so it's pound for pound.
Exactly. So we're gonna start number 10 and work our way to number 1. I'm gonna run through this fairly quickly because it's still a bit of a Wild West. There's only just enough women in this scene now to kind of build up a pound-for-pound rankings, and I'm sure they'll shift around a lot. But this is what we've got at the minute. In 10th place, we have Whitney Johns.
Whitney Johns.
In 9th place...
Emily Brooke. Oh. Who's the host?
You're doing it. You can do it.
Number 8 is Daniela Helmsley? I don't even know how to pronounce any of these names.
She's the one who got in national news for flashing her tits after winning that one time. Do you remember seeing that?
Oh, yeah. I remember those tits, yeah. Vampira. She's actually a vampire. She shouldn't have been allowed in the ring. Her opponent is now dead. 6, Astrid Wet.
Controversial one because she currently holds a belt. But... Yeah.
No, also not to be confused with her cousin Astrid Dry. So,
yeah, sure.
I hate the way you've done this. By the way, why the fuck have you got it going like 10 and then up on the right, and then you got like 5 going up on the left?
Well, because when it's all out, when it's all on the screen, that's how you would have it. One, left to right, up to down.
I don't like it. Number 5, Andrea Botes.
She put up a good performance in Creator Clash against Michelle Kerr, but ultimately lost. Did look very good, though, and the reason why she's there, even though she's not got a record like Astrid Wet, for example, I just think she's better than Astrid Wet. But we'll see in time. Maybe they'll fight. Who knows?
Number 4 is Michelle Kerr.
She did really good, and she's just only fought once, as far as I'm aware. Love to see her fight more.
Number 3 is it's Elle Brooke, right? Not like Ellie.
That's right,
Elle Brooke.
Yep. Bit of a strange one because at one point last year she would have probably been seen as the number 1 pound for pound. It's just that we didn't have a pound for pound rankings for the ladies because there wasn't enough activity, enough different people to go on. Unfortunately, since then she's lost, and it's kind of knocked her down the rankings from being number 1. So weirdly, although she was probably the best woman in this scene at one point, she's probably not going to end up being number 1 pound for pound woman at any point.
I just want to say that for our non-Spanish speaking fans, Elle Brooke means the brook in Spanish. That's what that means. So
that's Pineda this whole time has been like, that's a person? I thought, that was just a nickname.
That's a title. The Brook. Number 2 is Julie Poker.
That's correct.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not poker.
Poker? I hardly know her. She is the current Misfits champion. She hasn't lost. However, when I've assessed her skill compared to the number 1, I think she would lose to the number 1, even though they've not fought. Hopefully they will.
Number 1 is 6R60.
Yeah,
that is how you say that. That is, I refuse to call her. I refuse to call her a Barbie. It's 6R60.
So
there you go.
She did totally got the physicality and the makings of being head and shoulders above the rest, so far as I'm concerned. With some particularly good coaching, she could be fantastic as a woman's boxer, and I would love to see that. I really want to see Julie Poker versus Barbie. You know, I'd love to see the number 1 and 2 fight, the number 3 and 4 fight, the number 5 and 6 fight, the number 7 and 8 fight, and then the number 9 and 10 fight. That would be fantastic. That's what I would love to see, and I think we could potentially see some shifting around. That's the women's pound for pounds. Let's get into
men's pound for pounds. What the fuck is this that you've got going on? What
yeah,
sort of
those should have appeared with the names. I forgot to mess about. So
what
these symbols
contraption is this?
These symbols are to reflect the shifting in rankings from last year. So obviously the red downwards arrow means they've moved down. The blue plus means they've been newly added. The grey dash means they've not moved. The green up arrow means they've moved up. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Number 10 is Salt Pappy. Not to be confused with his cousin Pepper Pappy.
Pepper Daddy.
Sorry, Pepper Mummy.
Pepper Mummy. Unfortunately for Salt Pappy, he's lost twice this year, and it means he has to move down the rankings. However, it was incredibly tough opponents, so he's still managed to cling on to number 10 of the pound for pound rankings. But let's see if he can potentially fight some other people on this list and move up next year.
Number 9 is Ashley Raksu.
I think this is one that could surprise some people because he's not got potentially as much star power as some of the others, but he's not lost, and he's beaten the likes of King Kenny, for example. I think Ash Raksu's on a road to redemption and could potentially take on, what the fuck is he called? That guy. That one. Anthony Taylor again. And and let's see if he can beat him this time. He lost to him last time. If he does, which I think he's got the potential to, we could be seeing a big threat in this division. Go on, carry on.
Number 8 is Walid Sharks.
It's surprising that Walid Sharks wasn't on the rankings last year, being as he put up such a good fight against Dean the Great, but he wasn't, and I guess he'd just not fought enough, I suppose.
Dean the Grey, not to be confused with his cousin Tyler the Creator. Number 7, Anthony Taylor.
Yeah, Anthony Taylor's been a staple of this. He's not lost, apart from against Tommy Fury. But he has been criticised a lot for his fighting style and his skills. He almost cheeses his way to a win, and I think I'm kind of penalising him for that.
Number 5 is Gib.
Gib has not moved because he's kind of not...
Wait a sec. Sorry, wait. I've just got... In my ears, I got a thing coming from management. It's actually pronounced Jib. Jib.
So Gibb's not... Well, his full name is Anison Gib. So how do you pronounce all that then?
Anison Jib. Obviously.
Okay, fine. Anyway, he's not moved places. The final of the Kingpin tournament didn't happen, so it wasn't possible for him to fight someone like King Kenny and see if he can be crowned the winner of that, for example. So that's kind of hurt his potential to break further than where he has. And he doesn't hold a belt, so it's hard to kind of put him further up there. You got to hold the belts, really, to
I'm
get
actually
further
surprised
up.
you put him up there, that far up there.
Well, he's only ever lost to Jake Paul, and he's fought so many other opponents and done really well against them. Had possibly my favourite fight of all time in Creator Boxing last year against Austin McBroom. So he still deserves that spot. I'm also noticing I forgot to change the number. It says number 5 for some reason. Ignore that. That's meant to be 6. That's look 10, 9, 8, 7, 5.
Yeah, I didn't even see that, so...
Okay.
Number 5 is Slim.
I debated
the second number 5.
The reason why they both say number 5 is I was going to make them joint 5, being as when I look at their abilities, people they've fought, knockouts, stuff like that, I kind of thought there's very similar ground, and I really think they should fight because of that. However, Slim holds the belt. I do think his opponents have been slightly better when I think about it, apart from the likes of Jake Paul. So Slim just beats out Gib. Now, the interesting thing with Slim is he's gone down in the rankings, even though he's had a great year and deserves a lot of praise. This is only because of newcomers and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not something for feel bad about. The fact that he's at number 5 after all the newcomers and the competition this year is fantastic.
Number 4 is Dean the Great.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore Dean the Great's skills and the fact that he's had a really worthy opponent in Waleed Sharks, and he's kept the belt. He's undefeated. He's looked fantastic.
And I guess this one. Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
Number 3 is Jake Paul. I was going to guess KSI, so I would have guessed it wrong.
So Jake Paul's moved down. He was number 1 last time. However, Tommy Fury has been... Tommy Fury's come onto the scene, and he beat Jake Paul. So Jake Paul can't be number 1. So he's moved down. Jake Paul also, I would say, had a worse showing against Tommy Fury than KSI did. It was a lot more obvious that Jake Paul should have lost his decision than with KSI. So these are the hairs we're splitting. I think you can maybe predict who might be the other 2 in this kind of triangle at the top.
Okay.
Next up.
Yeah, Tommy Fury, there he is.
So Tommy Fury beat Jake Paul. So obviously, he's got to go above Jake Paul. The question then is, does he go in at number 1? Well, there's a problem with that because he then fought KSI. And as our commission has determined, not this stupid PBA, KSI should have won that fight and therefore... moves to the number 1 spot.
The CC, the corrupt commission, says that KSI should have won, so that's what...
So, yeah.
That's the argument.
Jog
that's
on.
The entire argument, yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Listen, I see you on Reddit or in the comments section, you're typing out like a 5 fucking paragraph long thing explaining why Tommy Fury is above KSI and all the technicalities on that. My exact response is... no. There you go.
So there you have it. Thanks for tuning in to this year's Crossover Boxing Awards by Streams Badly, the only correct awards on the entire internet. Take that. Tune in next year, where we'll everything might have changed. Who knows? Let's see what happens next year. If we can still be asked to do it. Do the buy that a host would do. What would a host do to sign up for awards? Do we need to get Will Smith to slap you or something?
We need what's his face who was doing the Game Awards who hurried the people that were doing Baldur's Gate 3 off, that were in the middle of like doing remembrance for people that died making the game, and then proceeded to give Hideo Kojima like 15 more minutes.
Okay, yeah, that. Bye!
Yeah, that guy.